Evening up, Louise here. Right, I'm back for another one. The podcast that I did yesterday is on my posts thing. I put the link up. Ant from Stellify. Go and give him a subscribe. He does some really good, interesting stuff. It's really well worth a watch. He's going to send me the file. So once I receive the file, it'll be in a few days. I'll put the whole thing up on my videos so that you can just watch it from there. Right. I hope you enjoyed my joint off to the allotments, those of you who've watched it. And bloody chickens have had me run ragged today trying to get them back in. 2 hours. I'm knackered. Anyway, had a good day. I've enjoyed myself in peace and quiet, doing bugger all. Right, so this reading, as promised, is going to be I've asked for an update for Tommy Robinson. I'm not feeling any doom and gloom. I'm not getting any doom and gloom from this at all. In fact, it feels quite. I'm getting positive vibes. Now, I believe he's in court on that terrorism charge, my arse, for not allowing the police to have access to his contacts on his phone, and he gets a terrorism charge. Can you believe it? Anyway, I think it's this week. I'm not sure. I'm not feeling anything doom and gloomy about it. I'm not getting any negative anything out of it. So I'm going to have a look through the cards and see if anything different comes up. So today, for the Oracle cards, I've got the Devas of Creation by Silicon Way. So I'm going to take a Deva. I don't have these out very often, and these are really good cards. And the lady whose cards they are, she's the lady who is the actual artist. So she's done the oil paintings of them and all that kind of thing. She's created the card deck and she sells them independently. It's Silicon Way. So if anybody's interested in any of her stuff, you have to go to her website. You can't get these from Amazon. Unless you can get a second-hand deck, I suppose. I don't know if you can get one. She's got a couple of interesting new decks, actually, that I want to have a little go at some point when I've got a few quid. Not yet. So let's have a Deva for Tommy, please. Check in for Tommy Robinson, please. Stephen Yaxley Lennon. And we have number 46. I think that's Saturn. So rules. Saturn is a stickler for rules, if my memory serves me correctly, because I am not an astrologer at all. 46. Oh yeah, Saturn. I'm right. Saturn. This Deva is the 6th planet from the Sun and the 2nd largest. Although it's the least dense, strangely it radiates more energy than it receives from the Sun. The planet is named after the Roman god of agriculture and mythologically is associated with Kronos, time, father of Jupiter and son of Uranus and Gaia. There's a story about Kronos. He was an evil son of a you-know-what. The Deva of Saturn counsels us to patience. It is in its presence we are challenged to accept our limitations in terms of time and ability, and to submit to these structures. It faces us with restrictions and obstacles, old age and mortality. Thus this Deva appears to us to remind us of unresolved issues, both personal and karmic. When we are under Saturn's influence, nothing we can do will hurry things along. So the Deva's message is to acquiesce to its structure. By becoming more sensitive to our environment and its feedback, we can begin to understand the reasons behind any blockages or limitations in our lives. This discipline may well prove invaluable in the future. Saturn rules over Capricorn. So this is talking about nothing fast is going to happen. I think Tommy is in prison right now. And although we are hearing all these terrible stories about the dramatic weight loss and his mental health, I think in the long run, not at the moment, because it's not beneficial to him right now. But I think once he comes out, I think he's going to come out a very, very wise man. He was already quite wise, but I think he's going to come out a very, very wise man. And I think that's going to serve him well, moving ahead after this prison is over with. So I think that's probably a good card. But it is about restrictions, and he is restricted because he's in prison. And those restrictions aren't going to be lifted. So having the Saturn card, I would say that he's not going to go to court over this stupid terrorism charge, and then the judge take one look at him and go, oh no, you've suffered enough, off you go home. I can't see that happening. But I'm not feeling negative. I'm getting no negative information at all. It's like this is he's in a holding pattern, and we're all waiting with bated breath to find out whether he's going to be all right. So what's happening with Tommy? Is Tommy going to be okay? Well, we've got So we've got the Two of Swords. So I think we had this before he went to prison. But I think he's having to decide something, and it feels quite imminent. It feels like he's being given a choice. He's got a decision to make about something. Maybe he's got some legal options on the table that we don't know about, and maybe he's deliberating right now over those options. I don't know who's giving him the choice, but we can have a look. So who's handed Tommy this choice? Right, now it's not telling me who, but it's telling me it's a choice to walk away from the battle, from the battleground. To walk away from the battleground, what's the other choice? And if he doesn't, and put down your heavy burden. I think this is going to turn out to be a quite positive reading here. The choice, put down your head. Right. Put down your heavy burdens. The moon. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your gut feelings. So in order to make this choice, he should be paying attention to his gut feeling, what he feels, not what his mind is saying, what his gut's telling him. You know, that really strong feeling that we often ignore, and then we make the wrong decision because we're not going with our hearts, we're going with our heads. I think he's got to make a heart decision here. And I think he's going to have to start paying more attention to his dreams, because his angels are trying to get to him through his dreams. They're trying to help him through his dreams. So there's this choice. Pay attention to your dreams. He's never going to see this, but we can energetically put that to him. We can think about Tommy Robinson, and in our minds we can say, pay attention to your dreams. You've got an important choice coming up. I think he's going to be given options soon. I don't know how soon. I can't give you a date. I can't give you a time. but I think he's going to be given an option. The option to walk away from this battle, not unscathed, because he's holding these 3 swords. This is mind, the 3 things. There's 3 things that have played on his mind. And I know one of the things is worried about his children. I don't know what the other 2 things are, but he's got this choice to walk away. This man is looking at his choices and deciding. So he's got a bit of a mental battle on his hands to actually make the choice that's going to be best for him. But either way, it's going to lead to the happily ever after card, the 10 of Cups. This is a really good card. This is like the end of the strife and the beginning of, so it's like, hello, it's receiving. This is the 2.4 kids and all that kind of thing. White picket fence and roses round the archways, that kind of thing. This is coming to him. It's not here yet, but it's coming to him. But he has a choice to make, and he needs to pay attention to his dreams. He's got heavy burdens. He's got a heavy load on his shoulders. And this feels not necessarily a mental heavy load. It feels like a physical heavy load. He's carrying a very large weight, and he's actually a very intuitive person. He'd probably laugh in my face. I don't know whether he believes in any of this kind of stuff, but he has got guides, and they are guiding him, and he's currently being divinely guided. They're trying to get through to him to pay attention to his dreams. He needs to stay still a bit. And I don't mean physically stay still. I think he needs to try and find a point of stillness in his mind, which I know that's difficult. And he's got the Hermit in reverse, and then he's got the 8 of Wands. So with these 2, we've got the 5 of Swords, walking away from a battle, beginning to put down your heavy load. And the Hermit this way around. The Hermit holds the star from the star card in his lantern. The star is healing. But the Hermit also is someone who goes within, who becomes introvert. Now, that's the opposite. This is someone who isn't an introvert. Walk away from your battle, put down your heavy load, and come out of yourself. This feels like this is what's going to happen very, very soon. He's going to walk away from his battles, but he's going to come out of his funk. Might take a few weeks, but Tommy is far stronger than anybody gives him credit for. He is well and truly able to come out of this mental shit state that he's in and turn it upside down. So go from being introvert and inward and insular to more extrovert and outward and social even. And then we've got, what did I say? Pay attention to your dreams. Your angels are sending you messages. He's being given messages. He's being sent messages. I don't know if he's still receiving loads and loads of messages, emails, letters and things like that. But there's going to be something that seems like a coincidence turn up in his life, and it comes through his dreams and messages. I think this is his angels talking to him. His guides are there with him. They've been with him throughout his life. But more so than ever, only he can't hear them above the noise of his mind. But they are coming through to him in his dreams, and some messages are going to start getting through. very soon. Definitely. Give me a minute, I'm just listening to something. It feels like he's got somebody. Um, I don't know if he's being visited by anybody from the clergy, and yes, I know the hermit isn't the clergy, but the hermit is a wise man. But it feels like he's having visits from someone who's a wise man, and this person's helping him to get out of um, his mindset of being insular and retracting into inward sort of thing. I'm trying to say this out because what I'm doing is that in my mind's eye I'm seeing it, but I'm trying to translate it into words. Um, it feels like he's going to start to come out of it. I don't know whether he's going to have a really good court case. Maybe he is going to have a good court case when it comes to this terrorism act. Um, but it feels like this a person who's visiting him and encouraging him to get out of his shell, which leads to there's going to be some important messages either coming in or getting out from the prison. It feels like because they're going, and the Eight of Wands is also about travel and messages. So I'm wondering whether there's something, information going to come out of the messages coming out of the prison as a result of this sort of spark of inspiration. Is like all of a sudden it's like, no, I'm not going to stay like this. I'm gonna turn it. I'm going to turn it. I don't want to be like this. I'm going to turn it upside down and be more extrovert and more vocal and more um what's the word? Because it feels very much like he's not himself at the moment. And then we've got the world with the Ten of Cups. So we've got right. His situation is heading for a change. The world is about the world turning. Everything changes. Nothing stays the same. Um, a, 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 a roll of the dice, the roulette wheel, that kind of thing. Fate, a gamble. But with this, it feels more like there's change is imminent for Tommy Robinson. I don't know what that means exactly just yet. I might not find out what that means just yet. And then I'm wondering if something's happening at home which gets him out of his funk and encourages him to send messages out, because the Nine of Swords is the up at night, the nightmares, the it's anxiety, it's but the if you look at the Nine of Swords, not one of these swords is touching this person, so um it's perceived anguish. So there's some perceived anguish here about Tommy Robinson. Now this could be people who around him, who love him, and his friends and family and all that kind of thing. They might be perceiving that his situation is worse than it is. He's not harmed. But this could also be him being up at night, worried about somebody on the outside, because this feels like messages coming out, people on the outside, but these people aren't being harmed. This is a perceived threat of harm or a perceived worry that's keeping him up at night. But he needs to pay attention to his dreams, because his dreams are going to quash that. His dreams, say that again. His dreams are going to provide some solace. So he's he's worried about something that hasn't happened. But he's worried about something that's outside of the prison, because this is messages going out, definitely. This is a bit bloody cryptic tonight, isn't it? And then we've got judgment. So this is, I'm wondering if this is to do with the people on the outside of the prison who are doing whatever they're doing to help Tommy Robinson to either get out of prison or to get removed from the prison he's in, and or a sentence where he's can just be out on license or something. And I think this is down to the fact that someone is going to do something, say something, publish something that's going to start making people change their minds about Tommy. It's like people who've always believed a certain thing about him starting to wake up from their slumber. We have got a mass awakening going on right now, where people are slowly and surely waking up, because nothing seems to add up right now. And someone somewhere is going to blow that trumpet, like, "Doo, doo, 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 doo. Wake up, you ignorant lot. This is what's really going off." And we've got the St. George's Cross. So this is rallying the troops. But the troops were never their troops, were never his troops in the first place. I think supporters are gaining momentum, and it's from something to do with, this is a very significant card in this reading. And right in the middle of it all, we've got this hermit in reverse, this extrovert type thing. It feels like it all explodes outwards, and it all starts when Tommy has, it feels like a bit of an epiphany, and starts to become less insular, less introvert, more outward than inward. So, what's the overall condition of Tommy Robinson at the moment? Right, there's an offer here. You know, when I said someone, these messages are going to cause someone to do something, say something, to wake more people up. I've just heard money talks. Money talks. Money talks. I wonder if this has got something to do with Elon Musk, because I believe he's is he fronting up the money for his lawyers, or some of it? I don't know. I think he's definitely fronting up some of the money. I don't know if it's all of it. Yeah, there's an offer here. Now, interestingly enough, Pentacles. Pentacles is Earth. It's Malkut. It's the root chakra. It's money, food, survival, security. There's an offer here coming in for Tommy. An offer of security. I'm wondering if they're shifting him somewhere more secure for him. I don't mean secure as in more solitary confinement. I mean somewhere where he's like, he can actually interact with people. It feels like that. Are they moving him to an open system? We've got the Queen and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, so he's got something to do with a female. This would be an Ace of Cups, a Queen of Cups. This would be a female, a Pisces female, or a water sign female. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Got something to do with this. This person is really, really nurturing, really, really kind and caring. Could be a male, but it could be a male that's quite effeminate. Somebody blonde. No, not blonde. Yeah, somebody blonde, blue eyes. Somebody blonde with blue eyes. Who has a lot of love and care for Tommy. Has been working really, really, really hard. Which is going to lead to the Ten of Pentacles, which is all the pentacles, 10. It's like, we've got happily ever after with the Ten of Cups. We've got the Ten of Pentacles. We've got a super secure, no issues where money's concerned, abundant, happily ever after. That's the happily ever after. That's the happily ever after, and secure for financially, materially, and security wise. So there's a lot of good cards in here. And they're not all going off about mental health. They're not telling me anything about battles. The only one that's talking about battles is this one. The walking away from a challenging time, mentally challenging time. He's walking away from a mentally challenging time. He's coming out of it. He's going to come out of it. And then he's got the Page of Pentacles, an offer, a message of an offer. An offer and a message. I think I'm going to call it. I might be 100% wrong. And that's just the way it goes with tarot. However, I'm going to call it. I think he's going to end up with some leniency. I think an announcement. Where are we? I think an announcement is imminent. I think an announcement is imminent regarding Tommy Robinson's incarceration. So watch this space. Right, I'm off. It's quite late for me now. I really need to be in my bed because I'm up for 4 in the morning. But I'll try and get this uploaded quickly. And if it's not too late, because sometimes YouTube takes an absolute pee when you try to upload stuff. But if it doesn't take all night to upload it, I'll stay in the live chat tonight because I wasn't there last night as I was on that podcast with Anne Critchley at Stellify. Right, I'm off and I'll see you soon. Take care. Ta-ra!